as we see both the teams getting ready for this big encounter here at the Namdhari Stadium in Punjab. A very new team in Namdhari Sports Academy by the name of Namdhari Football Club. They're doing well for themselves as well. It's a multi-sport academy set up in Punjab. They've only started their football academy in 2018 as we see the formation. Namdhari Football Club with Tenzin, Manveer, Saurav, Akashdeep, Sukhan, Harmanpreet, Sehaj, Manveer, Imanol, the Spanish midfielder, Singh and Ame leading that forward line. And it's not going to be an easy task for them, but they have a lot of grit in them as well, like we were talking about. And Sreenidi, they have their task cut out today as we see the experience of the last two I-Leagues that they have played. Third place in one, runners-up in one. As we see them shaping up today with Albino on goal, Abhishek Baker, the experienced right back, Gurmukh Singh, as we mentioned earlier, the Brazilian Eli Sabia, Jagdeep, Shaista the Afghani, Romavia, Maya Kanan, and the attack led by Rosenberg, Gabriel, David Castaneda, Munoz, and the Nigerian in Hassan.
So as we see in that formation, starting 11 already, they've had one big change also, is up front. New captain is back in the line. After William, who has played the previous matches, David Castaneda is taking over his position. And as we know, he has a nose for goals. And I'm sure that today again will be very dangerous to see him play inside that box.
Oh, absolutely. Like you mentioned, he was on the bench in the last encounter as we see the players almost ready to step out onto the beautiful laid out pitch here at the Namdhari Stadium. But he looked to score some goals today because after the first two matches where he scored 3 goals, he's been on a little bit of a goal drought, which is not usual for a quality striker like him. The referees for today: Lakshay, assistant referees, Sanjay ES, Liju VM, and fourth official Akash Kumar Mehta leading the players out onto the pitch. And it's good to see a smile on David Castaneda's face, and he will be hoping that at the end of 90 minutes he can lead his team to victory, to keep those smiles on as well, as Namdhari Sports Academy get ready to take on Sreenidi Football Club. And just after the pleasantries, it'll be a war on the pitch. Both teams very focused on what they need to do. Very well coached, both these teams. Carlos Vaz Pinto more on the attacking side, but Frances Bonnet, who's not in the dugout today, chooses more on defensive organization and hitting the other teams on counter-attack, and that's exactly how they got their first victory against Real Kashmir. It certainly is going to be a game of attack and counter-attack where Namdhari will look to organize themselves at the back and hit Sreenidi on the counter, which Aizawl FC certainly did against Sreenidi beautifully for their only loss that has come so far.
Yeah, it will be a difference in tactics for sure. And indeed, two experienced coaches at this level, they know the qualities of their teams. We haven't really heard why the head coach of Namdhari is not there. Maybe it's been sickness. There's a possibility. But we will see how they attack this game first, because we can always talk about the previous games, attacking-wise, defending-wise. But every game has a different plan. And now we will first see what are the game plans of both coaches, and then we can further discuss in what we tactically see is happening.
Absolutely, as we see Sreenidi Deccan getting pumped up for this encounter. And some last minute words from the leader of the lot in Namdhari ranks, Imanol Arana Sadaba from Spain. Playing in front of their home crowd today, Namdhari Football Club. They will look to have a 12th man behind them, as they needed, against a club which has been knocking on the doors of being a champion in the I-League. 3rd place in their first season, and the runners-up last season to Round Glass Punjab, and that was a very, very close encounter as well. And the referee Lakshya gets us underway with Shaesta moving the ball from left to the right wing. Straight away, the referee calls for a free kick, which goes Namdhari's way. Rosenberg Gabriel was the man who just kind of got Akashdeep Singh to the floor. A very slight trip there, and as always the players do, after conceding a foul, he says that he's got the ball, but we saw it clearly that he was taken down.
I'm trying to look a little bit at the running lines of Namdhari, and sometimes it shows a little bit that they are starting with a 4-4-2. It can be a little bit of a different setup, defending and attacking. But I see 2 lines, 1 line in the back of 4, 1 line in midfield of 4, and then sometimes 2 players up front. So there can be possibility when they have ball possession that they go into a 4-4-2. When they drop back, that they go back into a 4-3-3.
Looks like Namdhari is going to be using their wings a lot, with those wing backs going up and down the wing, as you see a holding midfielder in that zone in Manveer Singh as well. The Spaniard, Imanol, has a huge job. And what would be your opinion of, as we see this more often, there's a certain emphasis on playing out from the back in world football, and we see that a lot in Indian football as well, and we've been seeing this in the I-League as well nowadays.
Yeah, at the end it's a philosophy where most people, especially like in Europe, think playing out from the back brings out the best technicality inside players. Is it something that everyone uses the whole time? No, there are still coaches who sometimes will bring that ball a little bit quicker. It also depends on who are you playing against, what is the level. There is so many factors where you need to make decisions. If we as coaches know that we're going to be under press the whole time, sometimes you need to play more direct football. So it all depends on so many factors, on what you've seen in your pre-match analysis, what you've seen in your own post-match analysis of the previous game. And these points together makes you taking a decision, defensive-wise, attacking-wise. How do we play? As we see here, it is more even like a 4-4-2 in a diamond. Always 2 players up front. So those are choices from the coaches, where at the end what you've seen happened in the previous game.
Very well pointed out by you, Steve, because we can see that this is some beautiful combination play at the moment from Sreenidi. This is Rosenberg, who's shifted to the left, and that is the first corner of the game from Sreenidi Deccan, and that was beautiful combination play. He's moved in from the right, played a quick 1-2 with David Castaneda Munoz, and played it on to Hassan, and then tries for that cross. That is sublime football on display.
And I think with David inside the box, they've been missing him the couple of last matches within corners. It could be dangerous. And as I just said, who is the guy who hit the ball? It's David. He has a nose for goals inside the box. I have not seen too many goals from corners or free kicks this season yet. I mean with a header. But this, he exactly knows where to go in what position.
And they win a second corner as Shayesta takes it on his left foot. He's got a terrific left foot on him, but that is very well headed out as well. Here's Namdhari down the left hand side, and he looks for a foul. That was a Mai Patkal. And the cheer comes in from the crowd as a yellow card has been shown to Jagdeep here, the right back for Sreenidi Deccan, to the annoyance and maybe a little too harsh from the referee. That was the first foul that he committed. And we have a look at this one once again. It seemed to be a little soft, wasn't it?
I don't even think he really touches him. Kicks the ball quite far away. Yes, the tackle is late, but let us see here what happens. Good header away. Didn't really touch the player, and it was not a harmful tackle to get immediately a yellow card for such a maybe light foul. It's a little bit harsh of the referee. Maybe he wants to show, okay, we're not going to do and allow this too much, but this was a very light foul to start with.
It certainly puts him on red alert on that right hand side very early in the game, and that's always a little bit of a caution, but that's a good header out by Sreenidi Deccan. The cross comes in, and not the best of crosses as we see the beautiful facility of the Namdhari Sports Academy right behind the Sreenidi goal as well. It just goes to show, we're coming back to that again, Namdhari, these kind of teams which are coming forward and doing good for sports in India are much required, and they've just started their football academy back in 2018, which is not long ago. You've been part of a development project. I know there's a lot of investment and a lot of hard work that goes on behind, because knowing you are putting in the work here in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Clubs like that who invest their time in youth development and in grassroots, at the end, it's for the utmost importance for Indian football, because where will your next generation players come from? It's all from grassroots development. So the more players that are focusing on that, let us see first, good shot, but good block also here. Main importance is you need to build the new generations, and that's only possible with youth development.
It's very good to see. Even Sreenidi Deccan, for example, they focus a lot on their academy as well, and it's great to see that Indian football moving forward on that aspect as we see a player going down on the ground. I wonder who that is. But again, with that just the previous attack, we saw how Namdhari was quick to hit the counter attack, and it was Amay Patkal immediately chasing down the defenders, the centre backs of Sreenidi Deccan. But Elisabia, the Brazilian, very calm in how he dealt with that, and that's a beautiful take on the right hand side from Jagdeep with the cross, slightly overcooked, and I will go out for another goal kick for Namdhari Sports Club. Tenzin plays it short. Back to Tenzin, the former Kenkre FC goalkeeper. He's quite experienced at this level as well. Quite formidable as well. Here comes Akash, the captain of Namdhari. This is Saurav. Namdhari being patient in the build-up. Sreenidi not long before they try and press this possession at the back from Namdhari. Sukandeep. Saurav moves forward with the ball, looking for options. It's a little bit of a dangerous ball in the middle. Manveer to the captain again, Akash, who goes long, takes the more direct style, and that's a good ball forward. Namdhari threatening here, and another free kick given away by Sreenidi. Persistence at its very best. It was Sukandeep down the left hand side, twisting and turning. And that was Jagdeep again with the foul. He's already on a yellow card, and then, like I said, He has to be on high alert now, and the Spaniard, Imanol, is standing over this free kick, dangerous position.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful indeed, because we're still within 10 minutes of the start of the game. Getting a second yellow there is not done at all. And Imanol will try to take this for his advantage.
Concerned looks on the face of Carlos Vaz Pinto, because he knows the Spaniard can do wonders from this kind of position. Imanol beautifully curls it, hits the top of the post. The Namdhari players are asking for a corner kick. And the referee says nothing doing. Look at this free kick once again. Ooh, that just evades the goalkeeper and hits the top of the post. That was beautifully curled. Beautiful disguise on the ball on his left foot. Imanol, the Spaniard, showing his class on that occasion.
Yeah, but I think that the ref was correct. I don't really see him touching the ball, so it was a fantastic free kick. If he would have dropped it a little bit further on the far post, it would have been a very dangerous free kick. But there we indeed see the qualities that he has. You always need to have someone inside your team who can hit these free kicks like that, because it's an extra weapon, and Sreenidi Deccan needs to be very careful about this.
And the no-nonsense defending comes to the fore as the ball goes out for another throw-in for Sreenidi Deccan. For some reason, Namdhari thought it was their way and they took it quickly. But the referee pulls it back, and it's a throw-in, which Abhishek Ambekar will take it down the left-hand side and puts it up long. Beautifully taken by Rosenberg. And this time, the throw-in does go Namdhari's way.
There's been a couple of times indeed already that the referee was a little bit unclear with his movement to show which side or the throw-in was going to be. So he needs to be a little bit more alert on this, because both teams are focused to get that ball in their direction, and if the ref is not 100% clear, it annoys players a little bit because they want clarity immediately.
Oh, absolutely, and then especially in such high voltage encounters, they certainly have to be up to the mark with their concentration levels as well. Ali Sabia, the Brazilian, takes control of possession. Gurmukh Singh. Abhishek. Beg your pardon, Shaista. Abhishek. Back to Hassan. Sreenidi Deccan looking to build up from the back, looking for options, but nothing really has transpired in that attacking third from both the teams, apart from a foul or a free kick here and there. So far, both the teams holding their horses together, trying to take control of that midfield region. This is Ali Sabia, his trickery on display right from the start. But there's some lazy elegance about him, and sometimes he can lose the ball on that occasion, and such technical players sometimes can give the ball away thanks to their lazy elegance.
It's I don't think it's really a bit of laziness. It's more of a feeling, okay, I will keep that ball in my feet. I don't have to do that extra pressure because I can bring a free kick like that, or I can do a shot. But indeed, sometimes it puts pressure on the rest of your teammates. And if I compare that for someone who's playing a little bit on his direction, but on the other side is Hassan, he's always working, running on different positions. That's where at the end maybe he doesn't score the many goals, but here he's on the ball, dangerous guy, always running, and I thought that this was a foul on him.
That was a beautiful take from Hassan on that run, but this is another good ball down the left-hand side. In comes Akash, the cross comes in, not the best of crosses, and that's what's lacking in that attacking third. Quality is what we are looking for in that attacking third. Not many players in the box to aim at as well. And Sreenidi Deccan are back in possession. Here's that run. Oh, that has to be a foul. That has to be a free kick. Hassan has lost out, and there's no wonder that he was a little agitated with that decision from the ref.
And you were talking about crosses in the right zone. I will see it here again. Was a push in the back. Yes, he puts his body in front of the defender, but I think it's logical. You have the ball in your feet, so you will always put your body in front, but the push was in the back. So we were talking about crosses in the right zone. At the end, even if you only have one or two players, you need to be able to bring it perfectly in the zone. And it's not that easy when you're under pressure to bring those balls, but it makes the biggest difference on a top level playing or on the level here where they still have so many steps in front of them. I think it is David who's on the floor right now.
And he stayed on the floor though.
Yeah, it's the captain who's on the floor. I think he got a hit over there.
He's not too happy with something, and he's complaining it to the ref, but we'll have a look there again. It's the previous one, and the ball has been put out to play, but this man, Hassan, he's had 2 marauding runs, and he's looked very, very promising in attack for Sreenidi Deccan so far.
Even in the previous games, the combination between Hassan and Gabriel on the other side, Rosenberg, they've been always dangerous, doing a lot of runs, one-on-one with the defenders. Now they made a different choice between William or David. So they had an opportunity in changing him. They know that David up front can keep that ball a little bit longer than William. So I think that's where the coach have made a change. But the 2 wingers are very dangerous coming to the inside. And it's something that Namdhari fullbacks will have to look out for.
They themselves are activating this left wing quite well, because that's a very, very poor pass. Could have been very dangerous. I wonder what he was thinking on that occasion. Sukandeep was the man who passed that back. It almost turned out to be a beautiful assist for the Colombian.
It was also the goalkeeper, in my eyes, who should have come out a little bit quicker. He was a little bit stuck on his line. At a moment like that, you come out quicker. There is no pressure at that point, because then he could have easily done a pass on the floor.
I don't think even David Munoz was expecting that ball from Sukandeep. It was a very strange situation, but Sreenidi, like it has been in the opening 15 minutes, with 17 minutes past, they are back in possession. This is Ali Sabia, the Brazilian, moving forward. And Sehajdeep is living on the edge with those sliding tackles, throwing his bodies on the line. So far the ref has let it go. Sehajdeep gets it. Saurav gets it back. Sehajdeep comes down the center. It's like a very dynamic player. Sehajdeep looks to run around. He's got a lot of energy in him. That's a beautifully spread out ball, isn't it, from the Spaniard Imanol? That's a beautiful take as well from Akash. But again, fantastic defending from Sreenidi as well. Very calmly done, and right on the attack comes Sreenidi. Rosenberg, Gabriel from the right! What an effort that was! If that was put in by Roma Villa, that could have been a classic counter-attack.
And this is where David is so important. He's pulling the centre back together with him to direction the first post. You saw him already running inside the middle area. Quality cross from Rosenberg. Just the finish was not good enough to make it a real chance, but quick counter-attack, very dangerous there.
And you did mention that we'll see some good football on display, and we are certainly seeing that. Both these teams are throwing the kitchen sink at each other, and it's not even 20 minutes on the clock. So we can expect an enthralling, fascinating encounter for the rest of the minutes that we've left, and Namdhari are not one to shy away from a challenge. Jagdeep on the ball. Ali Sabia. Gurmukh Singh playing square passes amongst themselves, as we see the assistant coach Namdhari on the sidelines today in the absence of Francis Bonet. Well defended by the captain Akash, puts it out, and the Colombian will leave it for a fellow teammate to take that throw in. Jagdeep comes forward. Maya looks to drive in, but once again the presence of Sehajdeep.
And as we see, Namdhari is very close on the one-on-ones in defensive area. But if we look a little bit further on the left side, there is a whole gap in between the right winger and between Hassan. If someone of Sreenidi Deccan at a certain point would do that run in that area, it can become very dangerous from Namdhari at the moment.
And I think that's what Hassan has been exploiting, because he's got more one-on-one situations in that zone. It looks like a more crowded left wing for Namdhari, and you can see, like you mentioned, there's a lot of space behind there on the right-hand side of Namdhari. But here comes David Munoz. That's a beautiful layoff. This is Rosenberg. Gabriel! David Castaneda Munoz makes what his comeback is about to be. He proves that his coach has taken the right decision, and he's amongst the goals again.
Wonderful setup here in a space where there were so many players, one ball in between. Suddenly Rosenberg completely free, looks where David is asking the ball, because that's very important. You need to look at the whole face where David is asking the ball, pass backwards, and he just has to push it in the goal. We'll see it back in a second here.
And you can see what the goal means to him. He's had a small goal drought, which he's not faced for long in the last two I-Leagues. And for any youngster watching a striker's movement, this is a lesson. Absolutely beautiful. He plays that to Rosenberg Gabriel and then just holds his run. It's absolutely sensational to watch, isn't it?
Because also there a lot of the young crossers would just kick a ball inside the 6-yard box. And this is what Gabriel did very well. He kept looking, look in the eyes of David, see where he's asking the ball, just put that ball in front of him. 1-0. And right now, they are leaders together with Mohamedan for a big crunch in the next match.
And the most beautiful thing in that goal was how simple they made it look. It's like when we played football back in the day, and it was always about how good you can keep or do the simple things right. And I think everything about that goal was simplicity. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it's all about one small touch, another small touch, and that's at the end. Sometimes it doesn't have to be more than that. Yes, it's nice to see the Neymars doing 5 dribbles, but how many times it is really effective? And here it was 3 touches and a goal.
An uphill task for the home team now, Namdhari, because Sreenidi will look to amp the pressure up, and they are not a team to sit back after a goals lead, and we've seen this in this I-League. They have gotten a lot of goals, and they beat a Rajasthan United side 5-0. They have been on a winning run after that small defeat to Aizawl FC, which was a hard pill to swallow, and again a very close encounter, but they have been on a winning run. I beg your pardon, they beat Trau FC 5-0 and Rajasthan FC 2-1 before they drew 2-2 against Shillong Lajong. But this is another chance. Shaista, but that's a lunging tackle. Oh my word! What a screamer that is! David Castaneda Munoz is running right in that striking forward zone. But what about that strike? That went in like a tracer bullet. I think it was Maya, wasn't it, who took that shot, or was it Gabriel himself? We'll have a look at this once again. Would you believe it? We've got both names wrong. It was Jagdeep, the man who got the early yellow card with that harsh yellow card rather. He has absolutely bundled that in. What a strike, Steve.
A ball from nowhere, absolutely smashed it in the top of the goal. No one could have saved that. We thought that the ball was lost for Sreenidi Deccan after the crunching tackle first of all, because that was already a tackle on the limit. And then ball comes, looks at the goal, just smashes it in. Didn't expect it, but Namdhari here right now 2-0 behind. They'll have to change something in their plan. And this was a small opportunity to do that.
He's certainly putting those balls into the box, isn't he? The Spaniard, Imanol. But no one's kind of getting at the end of it. And Sreenidi Deccan have suddenly opened the floodgates, and they are 2-0 up within 2 minutes of scoring their first goal.
And a small statistic, at the moment they have the biggest goal difference in the league. Plus 14, scored 20 goals and conceded 6 in 7 matches. So these goals right now will be of importance also, because I've seen within the league table there's some teams already with a big margin in minus goals, Trout, and they are having a big plus in goal difference, and it couldn't be the last one here because another opportunity for David.
He certainly is moving with a lot more intent today. He knows what this game means to him, because he needs to get back to form. Sreenidi Deccan are a team which are led by the Colombian, and if they want to go all the way to the championship, as they have come so close in the last 2 seasons, the Colombian has to lead them again.
He's a real typical goal scorer at the end, and he's not too, how do I want to say that? It's not someone who is not going to do the work for his team. He will drop down a little bit. Most of the times he's a target man, but if he needs to come and defend, he will do the dirty work, where a lot of the strikers who are real target men just stay up front. You don't see them running back, but he's one of those players who will do that when it's necessary.
Absolutely, and he's a Sreenidi Deccan loyalist. He's been there for 3 seasons. He knows this club in and out, and he wants to get his hands on that championship trophy. Having come so close again, beautiful combination play. This is Rosenberg down the right hand side. Tries to go past, but Sukandeep does well on that occasion as Sreenidi Deccan win another corner, and the attacks keep coming from the Deccan side. Tenzin trying to marshal his troops and organizing them for this corner. Shaista, the Afghani, has got a sublime left foot. Has a lot of target, but that's easily collected by Tenzin. Not the greatest of corners, and set pieces are something Sreenidi Deccan work out a lot on. Saurav on the ball. They have to get themselves together here. Namdhari, they have to stay calm. They can't go overboard here. Try and go into half-time, pulling a goal back, or at least with this scoreline, regroup and come out with a lot of intent, and there has to be intent. They can't just let their shoulders droop here just because Sreenidi are showing a different class altogether here.
And you were talking about David being a loyalist for Sreenidi Deccan within these 3 seasons. Let us first look at this dribble here. An opportunity for Namdhari. But Sreenidi has the ball back right now. David is back on the ball. He has played, at the moment, he has played 43 matches for Sreenidi Deccan, and he has scored 28. That's 1 out of 2 at least that he scores. So then you see how important he's been in those last 3 years for Sreenidi Deccan. Even if he hasn't always played this season, been on the bench quite often, still he has these kind of numbers.
Absolutely, and you mentioned that he is an extremely hard worker. He may not score all the time, but what was great to see, even in last season's I-League, he was right up there in the assist chart as well. Albino, the goalkeeper, keeps the ball to himself, and he's not had much to do. His defenders have done well, and Sreenidi Deccan as a team have kept Namdhari at bay. This is Rosenberg. Rosenberg, Gabriel, Maya. Beautiful football once again. And David wants a free kick, but referee close at hand, and he's not happy. He says Akash had grabbed him from the back. As you can see, the ball possession, not surprisingly, Sreenidi Deccan bossing it around with 54% of it.
And this is something that Sreenidi also in the last couple of matches does very well. When they come and press on one of the wings, there is always one extra man compared to the opposing team, and it's something that I'm 100% sure the coach is training on a lot, because they don't do it in the center. It's only when a player is on the wing, suddenly they come and press with 3-4 players against 3 to have that one extra player, and then to try to get to the player up front who is waiting for that ball, and that the wings can overlap at that point. And it's very fascinating to see that, because not many teams right now in I-League are doing this.
It's interesting that you mention it, because I remember being in a coaching session in Barcelona, and then they mention a certain Johan Cruyff in Barcelona, and that's something that in that era they were mentioning, that the ball goes to the wing and you always have an extra player to get that ball back. And it's interesting to see that here in Indian football as well, and that is exactly why I say that the influx of good coaching systems in the country is so important.
And it's something that you see all over the world, of course. There is in every competition coaches from all over the world trying to be the best and make the best of themselves together with their teams. And those influences make a difference in the way you see football. And here also it's good to see the way they go from left to right a lot of times in Sreenidi, which they just did again. Good pass, run over, ball in between. Gabriel with a shot that ended up just too far. David asking that ball, which is his right to do. But I think the combination was very strong on that right side here.
There's some beautiful combinations being played, and the way they're switching play from right to left, like you mentioned, it looks like they are a very well-oiled machine at this moment. And Namdhari doesn't seem to have an answer for it at the moment.
You see again what I was just talking about. They come on the wing, suddenly it becomes 2v1. They're in the center, they let them play. It's only when they go on the wing that suddenly Sreenidi Deccan, as I just said, they let them play in midfield. Now it's too much let them play. But it's these moments that you see what are the tactics and what are the plans of the opposing coach. So if tomorrow my team would be playing against Sreenidi Deccan, it's something that I take with me in my training sessions, because it's things that we've seen in several matches, and then you know, okay, this is a coaching point, what they are doing. How can I train on this to make it my strength? And what did Namdhari do right now? They went through the center, because in the center there's always a little bit of a more open gap in Sreenidi Deccan. So it is something that they will have to use, but they are not using enough right now.
Oh, absolutely, very beautifully observed by you, Steve. And I'm sure this is exactly what the coaches would like to kind of exploit, but Down the left-hand side comes Namdhari, which has been the most active point for them, the left wing for Namdhari, as Albino comes sliding and leaves the ball for another goal kick. But it's very important that in the next 10 minutes or so, Namdhari don't concede another goal and still somehow have a footing in this encounter going into that second half, because they need to regroup here, because Sreenidi Deccan at this point in time are running away with it. Imanol beautifully lays it. Again, fantastic skill from Akash. Tries to switch it to the right, as he does. No one really supporting. The cross comes in, is not a bad one! And those are the kind of chances that Namdhari need to take if they want to make some inroads into the Sreenidi Deccan defense, and that was beautifully crossed in. Let's see who got his head to it. It was Akash himself, and he can't keep it down. Probably jumps a little early on that occasion.
Yeah, it's something that I've been talking about in the previous games in that third zone. This was perfect example of a third zone cross. Goalkeeper can't make it. Centre backs are not looking what's happening behind him. And then at that point you have a free player there who should have done better with that opportunity. This could have been the 1-2, and this could have been a lot of pressure on Sreenidi Deccan. But we also saw that already Namdhari is thinking of doing a substitute because they're not happy how their plan is working. So most probably we will see someone coming in very soon.
It was the Ghanaian, Stephen Akwa. We saw the assistant coach getting ready. As another cross comes in, David Castaneda Munoz with the shot. On the rebound was Roma Villa following it up. Tenzin Samdup dropped it right on a platter for Roma Villa, but thankfully for him, it was the captain Akash who came in with a crucial clearance.
Big blunder from the goalkeeper there. That could have been the 3-0. Even when Namdhari just had 2-3 opportunities. These are the moments that can't happen at this level. I think they were shouting already for a red card. It was the second or the third foul, but I still think that the first yellow card was a bit light. If you would have given a yellow, this would have been a yellow card. There I would have agreed this could have been the first yellow card for him. But now to go and give him a second yellow card for this after you did the first one so easily, I think that would have been a bit cheap to do. But I can understand the shouts of the referees. If you exactly know that he already got a yellow, you will shout for a second one.
And we can see Stephen getting ready to step onto the pitch. I wonder who has been taken out here.
And I think there's been given a yellow card to someone because he's writing down something on his card. So I'm not 100% sure what exactly happened, but I saw it taking out his yellow. I saw him writing. So I think we need to get confirmation on that part.
I think it was Eli Sabia who bundled him over on that occasion. The Brazilian. And the physio gives the thumbs up to the coach that he's ready to go in. I think it's Sehajdeep Singh who will come off. Yeah, it is Sehajdeep Singh who comes off, and Stephen Akwa, the Ghanaian, who comes on for Sehajdeep. In his 38-minute stay, Sehajdeep has been a chaotic runner in that midfield region. He was almost everywhere. He was disrupting play. He was being physical. Almost like his coach telling him that his role is to be disruptive. Maybe he just disrupted the flow of play as well, and he has been substituted. And there's the confirmation of the yellow card. The Brazilian Eli Sabia gets the second yellow card of the afternoon. And both have gone against Sreenidi Deccan, one for Jagdeep Singh and one against Ali Sabia.
And we're going to see with bringing in the Ghanaian midfielder if something is changing in their tactics, or are they going to... I see him playing as a defensive midfielder here. So let us see if something is changing. Maybe they are pushing Imanol a little bit more up, Stephen taking his position and then step by step moving into a different formation. We also see that David has already had a couple of fouls onto him, and this resulted in a yellow card right now.
Yes, that's another yellow card, and this time it has been given to Namdhari, Sukandeep. That was very, very needless to say the least from Sukandeep. Off the ball, he just shoves the Colombian to the ground. There was absolutely no need for that. Jagdeep with the cross. Not the best of crosses. Imanol gets in control. And here's Akash. Here's Akash again. Beautifully lays it to Sukandeep, who takes it in his stride. Twists and turns. Not the best of decisions to hold on to that ball. He had that option to leave the ball early on, and he gives the ball away.
Yes, it should have been a moment earlier. He had the opportunity to play the ball central, kept running in between. Sometimes it's something that you need to learn after your first dribble. Play that ball, run open yourself again to maybe receive the ball back.
And that's what separates an average player from a good player, isn't it? These little decision making that you as a coach will always see. And you were mentioning about watching, but this is a beautiful ball forward. And this is a chance now. This is Amay. Lays it off. Couldn't get his shot out of his feet. Manveer on the run. But there's some kind of intent being shown here by Namdhari, which should be encouraging for them going into that second half.
Yeah, and it should be, again, it's looking at first touch. You were talking about certain subjects and certain positions that we're looking at, certain things that players do. This was one of them. His touch was not good enough, because if his touch was close to his body, he could have shot immediately with his left foot. And now the touch is away. He needs to turn again. He needs to look with the player behind him, or maybe do a cross, which was not really an opportunity. But it's these little things indeed that makes the difference between playing at a certain level or playing at the top levels, let us say in Europe, at the top levels there, because these controls are on a much higher level. The intensity is there, and it needs to be perfect. If it is not perfect, the ball is away, goes to the other team.
And you can hear from the cheers of the crowd here, backing their team, that Namdhari have won a free kick in a very dangerous position once again. Here's that free kick. It looked like Ali Sabia just held him back a little bit, but it looked another soft one, and he was not happy with the referee's decision. But this once again is an immaculate position for Imanol to take this free kick. The Spaniard is the only one standing over this ball.
And if we remember his first free kick, we saw how dangerous it was. It's a bit further from the box now, so it's more difficult. But a player like him should be able to drop that over the wall. We see someone lying on the floor in the meantime to protect that part, but he should be able to drop that over the wall inside the area where it matters.
Namdhari have certainly made their mark in the last few minutes. Imanol, can he drive it in? And that was not very far away. It had Albino scrambling across, but he just couldn't get the dip in enough, Imanol, the Spaniard. But he's got a good whip on his left foot, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was more of a whip indeed instead of a ball that would have dropped. I think he should have looked yesterday at Sterling, how he did it during the Premier League match, because he dropped it around the same area but on the left side, perfect in the top corner with a falling ball. This was too much of a of a lobbing ball at the end, and these lobbing balls are not that easy to put in there. You need to get that power a little bit more because it makes it more difficult for the goalkeeper.
Another opportunity goes begging for Namdhari to make and get a goal back before half-time. But they've certainly pulled things back a little. They've got ahead on the possession count, but they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get ahead on the goals count here. It's Jagdeep Shayesta. Again, some good play down this right-hand side by Sreenidi Deccan, Rosenberg. Roma Villa shifting to the right-hand side to combine with Rosenberg. And they always look for those little 1-2s here and there. Sreenidi Deccan trying to combine themselves, but on that occasion, the overload on the right-hand side didn't really work because Namdhari were on high alert. Here comes the high press from Sreenidi Deccan, and the clearance eventually comes, and the Brazilian keeps it in control. And 3 minutes of additional time has been shown by the fourth official after the regulation of 45 minutes.
It's something that we've seen this match a lot. Most of the game is being played on this side here, close to the video where we are watching. We've not been seen too much on the other side, so you most of the time see an overload on the right hand side if you follow Sreenidi, which is a little bit surprising because we have Hassan on the left side who's not been touching much. The beginning of the game, 2-3 touches, but he's been a little bit on his island on the other side. You already see how close he's coming right now to try to touch that ball a bit more, but it's a bit surprising that most of the game is only being played on one side, and for Namdhari and for Sreenidi. So it needs to be that the teams have given that objective by the coaches, but the other side is completely open, and I'm surprised that not much more is going quicker to that left side to take control there, because everything is blocked here already.
Absolutely, the switch hasn't come in yet to exploit those spaces which you mentioned earlier as well on that left hand side. And here come Namdhari now, and there's that press again. Look at Hassan pressing that ball down, and eventually Sreenidi get back possession. That was beautiful to watch again. Like you mentioned, they were getting those defenders. There's an extra man behind that ball all the time from Sreenidi Deccan, and they win a throw here with Abhishek Ambekar. He'll be a happy man, Carlos Vaz Pinto, with how his team has done in this first half. They've stuck to the plan. They've kept their calm after the initial 20 minutes, which were not giving them many opportunities to lay into the defense of the Namdhari Football Club. But once the floodgates opened, they certainly look like a championship team which are ready to go in at it with no mercy for Namdhari. Oh, that was beautiful combination play down the right hand side. The ball comes in. It's not a bad cross. That was good movement as well from Amay Bhatkal, as Manveer was the man who puts that cross in, which was not a bad one at all. But the Brazilian does extremely well to stick with him and get that goal kick.
They've had some small opportunities, Namdhari. It's not been a game that's just one-sided from Sreenidi Deccan. They've had some opportunities, but they need to be better around the box and inside the box, and this is one of those opportunities. If the cross would have gone to the third zone, there was no one there except one of the Namdhari players, but ball comes in the first zone, and Elie Sabia knew what to do with it.
And with that, we come to the end of the first half, as the referee has a word with Sukandeep. But the storyline will tell you that Sreenidi Deccan have stuck to the task on hand, and they have scored two very crucial goals. going into the lemon break, and Namdhari will have their task cut out coming into the second half as they're trailing Sreenidi Deccan 2-0, and you can see Namdhari pulling things back a little bit towards the last 10 minutes or so with 51% ball possession. 5 shots for Namdhari, 6 for Sreenidi Deccan, 3 shots on target for Sreenidi, 2 have been scored and 1 only on target for Namdhari Football Club. 7 fouls conceded by Sreenidi, 4 by Namdhari. The 5 shots taken by Namdhari Football Club, and Imanol right up there with 2 of them. 2 free kicks taken by him. Not surprising, Amay Manveer and Akashdeep Singh with 1 each against Sreenidi Deccan. 6 shots taken by Sreenidi Deccan. David Castaneda right up there with 2 of them. 1 being scored, Jagdeep scoring the other. Rosenberg, Gabriel, Roma Via and Shaista, the Afghanian, with 1 more. Four fouls conceded by Namdhari. Sukhan with 2, Manveer and Saurabh with 1 each. Seven fouls conceded by Sreenidi Deccan. Eddie Sabia with 2, Jagdeep with 2, Rosenberg Gabriel also with 2 fouls conceded, and Maya with a solitary foul. On to the highlights. It's all started with Imanol striking the post of the Sreenidi Deccan goal as Albino was beaten on that occasion, but thankfully it stayed 0-0. But this was that beautifully combined goal between Rosenberg and David Castaneda, getting on the end of it for a simple finish at the end. The captain getting on the score sheet once again, and look what it means to him. And then that thunderous strike. No goalkeeper in the world would have saved that shot from Jagdeep Singh. And that was the second goal for Sreenidi Deccan, which firmly put them ahead in the game. And Rosenberg with that effort once again couldn't hit the target, but it was a beautiful leader play for them. And then this header, an opportunity for Akash to pull a goal back, but couldn't quite get it. Another opportunity was begging as Manveer took it in his stride, and then another free kick for the Spaniard Imanol, who puts it over. Eli Sabia doing well on that occasion. And with that, at halftime, the news from down there is Namdhari Football Club is trailing Sreenidi Deccan FC 2-0. Please don't go back anywhere, because we will be back for an exciting second half. And we're back for the second half as we see animated Namdhari Football Club players as the coach is readying one more substitution. Sandeep Singh is the man who's going to come on. I wonder whose place he's coming on in for. On the other end, Sreenidi Deccan look like a team very composed and comfortable at the moment. Imanol leading the talk along with Akashdeep Singh. As Sandeep it's ready to come on, and it's Harmanpreet Singh who comes off.
So it's a midfielder for midfielder. Right now they haven't changed too much from formation. Everything has stayed a little bit the same. So let us see if now they would bring in some more tactical changes, some more tactical differences, because they will have to do something to beat this Sreenidi Deccan team.
ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿਓ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਨੰਬਰ PV768660 ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ, ਰਸਤਾ ਬਲੌਕ ਆ। ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫਿਰ PV768660
And the referee gets us underway for the second half. Imanol tries to get us underway, and then straight away from the right hand side, this is Hassan, and he's been going on those runs ever since we've seen the start of this match. He's been an explosive character today, Hassan the Nigerian, and he's brought down once again, and the referee says nothing doing.
And this is where it's a little bit curious that Namdhari has made some mistakes, some fouls on players. Okay, Sreenidi also, but this one, I think it was the pull first, and then he goes a little bit through his knee, nothing really through Hassan, but again it's a pull on Hassan, otherwise he would have been gone, and there is no yellow card. So a little bit I'm thinking, how is this possible that they've had a little bit equal mistakes, but this could have gone bad for Hassan at the end.
But thankfully for him, he seems to be in good shape. Tenzin lays it up forward. Jagdeep with the clearance. He certainly added some kind of stability in that midfield region, the substitute who has come in, the Ghanaian Stephen Aqua. He's got a little bit more assurance in front of the defense, like you had mentioned, that he's come in that defensive midfielder position with Imanol stepping a little forward up.
Yeah, I think that was the purpose indeed in also putting Manveer Singh a little bit deeper inside the game to help. He's on the ball right now here to find these solutions in between the lines, because that's where they were struggling, and since they've done that, they get some more opportunities. With a big one here, that was a miss of goalkeeper Albino, completely next to the ball, if we see that here. And that could have been 1-2 within 2 minutes.
And the substitute, Sandeep Singh, straight away getting into that act. That's a beautiful cross in. Here comes the corner. And clearance comes in, and Namdhari trying to get things going for themselves in the second half, and it's been a promising start so far in the opening 2 minutes. As Roma Via, and this is the time that Sreenidi would look to slow things down and buckle the momentum that Namdhari are trying to gain here. And you can see that's exactly what they're doing, Sreenidi Deccan. They're no hurry to put the ball forward. But that cross from Sandeep Singh, Gurmukh Singh will be thanking his lucky stars that ball didn't go into the goal.
Well, they're masters in this really. In the previous games also, Sreenidi Deccan, they can put the tempo up when they want it, they can put the tempo down when it's necessary, and that's something that you see here again. They put that tempo down a little bit. They let Namdhari run after the ball. And then some moments they try to find David, maybe in a quick counter-attack. But it's something that is only possible if you have enough leaders on the pitch, because they will decide the tempo.
And they are not short of leaders out there in terms of quality. Sreenidi Deccan as Namdhari once again with Stephen Aqua trying to come forward. He's looking for options and he's a little agitated at that moment as well. But here come Namdhari down the left hand side once again. This is Sukandeep. Up to the captain Akash. Sandeep. Neat turn. He's certainly been on fire since he's come on. Showing a lot of energy down that left hand side, Sandeep. And Sabia too strong on that occasion, and that's a goal kick.
But there are so many moments for Namdhari where they could have played in 1 and 2 touches and find that space in between. But you see that they need more than these 2 touches to be able to see where the free space is. And it's a little bit of a shame for the game what Namdhari is playing, because if they would play it in 1 or 2 touches, there would be more space, more freedom, more possibilities in turning that game. And there are players who are free, but I have the feeling that they don't see it immediately. So it's something that they need to train on and work on, because there are moments where I think could have passed the ball to this player in the middle or could have turned the ball to the other side, and it doesn't happen. So the tempo of the game stays a bit too low from Namdhari to make it difficult on Sreenidi.
Absolutely. And that allows those extra touches, allows Sreenidi Deccan defenders to also get back in shape. And that's something it was exposed in their loss against Aizawl FC, where they were very quick to play those 1-2s and play it forward and put those defenders under pressure. I think it was a great example of how to play against a team like Sreenidi Deccan in that Aizawl FC game. It was beautiful to watch. And what a thriller of a game as well. As it has always been in an Aizawl and Sreenidi Deccan encounter. Against Tenzin Samdup. Akashdeep. Moving forward. Akashdeep. Sukandeep plays it back to Tenzin Samdup. Namdhari with the possession. Sreenidi Deccan trying to just maintain their shape. So not in any hurry. In the end, they forced them to go forward. Imanol. And is it to Manveer? The clearance comes in from Gurmukh Singh. Stephen Aqua controlling that. Now this is Imanol once again. And that's a free kick which goes against Imanol. Or is it Imanol? I think it's Manveer Singh rather. On Roma Villa. I do think that the studs were a little high on that occasion. Oh, that is not how this game should pan out, as Saurav has another shove at the Colombian David Castellano-Munoz.
And it's something that I was saying not too long ago. It's these little moments here where it's a little bit surprising that for that, remember, light tackle at the beginning of the game, there's immediately a yellow. Now you see a push happening between David and one of the defenders of Namdhari, and nothing really is coming out of there. Sometimes you need to have that immediately, both sides, yellow card, finish the game as a referee. Don't let them put pressure on you, and then it's up to the teams to figure it out. But this was a tackle that was worth of a yellow card.
Certainly these little things could certainly boil a game over at times. The temperament is the thing, but this is good pressing from Namdhari. Forces Sreenidi Deccan to clear their lines a little quickly. This is Imanol. Tries to play a ball, and that's beautifully threaded through. This is Sandeep. Cuts in. This is still Sandeep. Ali Sabia with a wall-like presence once again, and the ball goes out for another corner for Namdhari. So they've started on a very, very promising note in the second half, Namdhari.
And until this moment, they've had 8 shots at goal already, compared to the 6 of Sreenidi, but they are losing 2-0.
Shouts of handball, but that was a very, very well worked corner kick. Imanol found out the on-rushing Akash beautifully on that occasion at the far post.
And it's also a very smart block. Don't know if you saw that, but he was holding his hands around 2 of the players of Sreenidi to block him, and he knew that the ball was going to come in the far zone because the corner kick taker already put up his hand. They knew exactly what they were going to do, and this is one of the blocks that have come over from basketball into football, to be able to block 2 players and to give freedom for your one player who, where that ball came, could have been dangerous.
They've certainly looked dangerous in the second half, but Sreenidi Deccan could change it in a whiff. Shaista. And that he's gone down again. Referee plays advantage, Roma Villa, and eventually pulls it back, and I think this is going to be a yellow card. And that's exactly what he's saying. And this is where what he was saying comes so true.
Because it's these moments, if you allow it too much, and I think it is a second yellow there.
He's been given the marching orders by the referee. Sukhandeep has got the second yellow card of the game, and the task at hand, 2-0 down, and now a man down Namdhari. This task has just gotten so tough. As you can see, Ali Sabia and Gurmukh adding to that attack. And you had mentioned this, how goal difference can play a huge part. I don't think Sreenidi Deccan are going to show any mercy to Namdhari here.
And while we're in the game here, now Sreenidi Deccan 11 versus 10. Let us have a little bit of a look at their next program. Very difficult month upcoming. Next match away at Mohammedan. That means at Naihati Stadium. 1 against number 2 in the league. Then they have Kashmir away, another difficult away match. Play at home against Delhi, and just before the end of the year they will play against Gokulam Kerala. So very tough for Sreenidi Deccan. It will mean a lot in where are we right now, where will we be by the end of December, and will we still be in running of the title, which is the same at the end for Gokulam Kerala and Mohammedan, because the 3 top teams right now are playing against each other in the next 2 weeks. So there we will learn a lot in who exactly is still playing for the title, who is in the running, who is getting out of the running at the moment. So very tough end of the December month, let me say it this way. End of the December month coming up. Very tough, but for us exciting moments of course to see.
It's almost like a make or break December in the I-League for the top 3 teams that you mentioned. But lately, a certain team by the name of Shillong Lajong has been making forays into that top 3, and boy, have they shown promise or not. Terrific football being displayed by the young Lajong side as well.
And I know that from first hand. We've played against Shillong Lajong last year 3 times, especially with the public at home that they have behind them. It's always, I've talked about this so many times, it's that extra boost, that extra motivation, and the people over there are football crazy. Absolutely, it's fantastic to go and play, and of course as coach you have that little moment where you go against supporters, they go against you. These are the moments, it's part of a game, it's part of of a little bit of how can we get that mentally out of their system, how will they attack us, and you try to put that in your own team also. But going to play over there a little bit on the heights, you have an artificial pitch, it's not easy, and for them it gives that extra boost. And indeed right now they've moved up to position 3. Gokulam still has a match in hand, let us also look at that, but that means that it's still all close to each other, and it will be an exciting December month upcoming.
Oh, absolutely. And a certain star has been born. He has been in the Indian football circuit for long, but suddenly in this I-League, he's lit it up in the last few matches. Frankie Buam. He's been scoring goals from every single angle possible for Shillong Lajong. Suddenly, they are a team to watch out for. And they held a very, very formidable Sreenidi Deccan side who is playing right now. They held them to a 2-all draw. So it was a stalemate between them. So there are exciting times. Like you said, there are 4 or 5 teams which are big contenders for this year's I-League. And it's always kind of thrown in dramatic finishes in the I-League as well. And that's the beauty of this league as well.
It's also part because of the competition is quite small, if I can say it that way. It's not 34 matches or 40 matches like it is regularly in Europe, because once you get onto 40 matches, it's about who has the biggest squad, who has the strongest squad. These competitions are at the end like 5-6 months. It's not that much focused on how big is your squad, how are your players, all top players or not. Because if you see more and more, most of the teams now are settled. They have their starting 11, maybe 13, 14 players that they are changing first all the time. But most of the squads right now are settled, except the teams who are at the bottom where they are making a lot of changes because they're not finding the real solution. But the teams are in the top 7 right now. If you check the last couple of matches, most of the times it's the same players who are on the list. Maybe 1 or 2 changes because of a reason. This is at the end, if you got 40 matches, and we got a great opportunity again from a good cross here. He's dangerous with it, and he brings these balls right in that third zone again, as we will see. Again, the header is not good enough to make an opportunity. Perfect in the third zone. Goalkeeper cannot come there. But a header there should be in the far post. So as I was saying, if you got 40 matches in front of you, you need a big squad, you need a talented squad, you need young players, you need old players, you need experience. And it makes a difference if you know that it is a 9 to 10 month season, because it changes the whole setup. And at the end, most of the times you don't have 5 teams fighting for it. You have 2, maximum 3, because the differences are much bigger. And here you see that it is still close. And if we look at the league table, so many teams are still the opportunity to get first, to get into that line. Maybe a mishap from Sreenidi and Mohammedan, 2 matches, and everyone is back together. That's when you have a smaller competition.
Oh, absolutely. And this free kick comes in once again from Imanol. This time a little bit better defended by Sreenidi Deccan. Well headed by Eli Sabia, and the ball will roll out for another goal kick. But getting back to the discussion that you were having, and it exactly happened. Sreenidi Deccan was at the end of it. They lost out to Mohammedan Sporting in a 10-goal thriller, and they were leading the pack till then. In the second phase, they lost out to Mohammedan Sporting 6-4, and Mohammedan were languishing in 7th or 8th position at that point in time, which just paved the way for Roundglass Punjab to just get the momentum and win the I-League. And Sreenidi Deccan, unfortunately for them, they ended up runners-up and not even close to Roundglass Punjab in the end.
Yeah, it's at the end, the state is the same in the state leagues. Or I cannot say every state league, because some of the state leagues indeed have a longer competition. But like for an example, in Kolkata, you are playing 12 matches. After 12 matches, your league is finished. Even now in I-League 2, we haven't heard the full setup yet how it will be, but we are guessing it will be 7 matches. 7 matches, your competition is finished. How do you at the end prepare yourself for something which is so short? How do you get the mentality of all the players ready? If you know it is 30 matches, there's a whole focus, there's a whole program you are making, and it's these things at the end that it makes it difficult to keep developing players, because right now for us, Kolkata Premier League is already finished 2.5 months ago. We have another 2.5 months to go before I-League 2, and that's what you see here also. Even in I-League, after this competition, now you're happy you have Durand Cup, you have Super Cup, but let us first see this cross here with a good opportunity, a header again from Ali Sabia, who was there freely, but he couldn't put the full power after it. So it was another good cross here. So as I was saying, it's even for the I-League teams. If you in the Durand Cup, you only play 3 matches, it's finished. In the Super Cup, maybe you lose the first match, it's finished. Competition should become longer, and then you have more opportunities in developing players, like you were saying, the next superstars. If it is for Sreenidi Deccan, if it is for Shillong Lajong, you get more opportunities, and we see an opportunity here. But he keeps dribbling that ball. He should have gone to the other side much quicker.
Frustrating to see that, isn't it? Because it was such a beautiful run, but just didn't know what to do after that, after he reached a certain point. And that's what's been the disappointing fact here for Namdhari Football Club. And that's where the difference lies in a team like Sreenidi Deccan. It's real experience which is coming to the fore, and this is a chance again for Sreenidi Deccan. Rosenberg tries to take it first time, but Tenzin Samdup closes down the angle and gives away another corner for Sreenidi Deccan. But that was a beautifully threaded ball through once again by Hassan, the Nigerian.
And he made the wrong choice there. Should have passed it to David. Just a little ball on his right side. David was alone to push it in there. We see 2 substitutions right now coming up for Namdhari.
Romovia with this corner kick. And it's a little overcooked on that occasion as Eli Sabia keeps it in. Shaista. Maya. Sreenidi Deccan on the attack, trying to get a third goal to put the match to rest. This is Maya again. Beautifully played through. The assistance flag goes up for the first time in this match so far. That's the first offside, and it is against Rosenberg.
Just to give a quick update here, they're taking off a midfielder and a striker and bringing on a midfielder and a defender. Losing 2-0 and with 10 players, I think Namdhari coach is not making a decision to not concede any further, instead of making a decision in coming back and trying to push to score 2 goals. I think maybe I'm on the opinion there of you're losing 2-0, you got 10 players. If it becomes 3-0 or 5-0, it is better to score a goal and to try to go back for it than keeping it at 2-0 and losing the game without having created any further opportunities.
They've also taken out the Spaniard, the most threatening player in the opposition ranks, for the opposition ranks, and I think it's a sign or telling the opposition that, you know, we are just going to settle down with this 2-0.
And we see here Gabriel, who was on an offside just a little bit earlier. Was a great pass through again. And with his speed and his movements, he has opportunities to bring these balls as we saw in the past. But I indeed think that Namdhari assistant coach has made a decision to just keep it at 2-0, or try to keep it at 2-0 but falling back inside the back like you're doing right now just invite Sreenidi Deccan to have these opportunities even more, these pass-throughs like they are trying to do now, and you're just going to be at a shooting tent for Sreenidi Deccan, and I don't think that that is the right opportunity or the right choice to make.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because recently you mentioned a lot of Europe, so we were watching this match, Tottenham versus Chelsea, where they were down to 9 men, and the Tottenham coach, Andre, he decided to play a high line and go all out into the attack to try and score and get those goals back. In the end, they ended up conceding 4 or 5 goals, but I think he was given a lot of praise for that. So it really depends on coaching philosophy, doesn't it? At the end of the day, he decided to play a high line, which made him exposed to those goals. As we see a little bit of an argument between the Ghanaian and the referee, as another free kick has gone Sreenidi Deccan's way. But coming back to that, I was very fascinated and I was very impressed with the bravery that the coach had shown to go all out in a Premier League match.
Yeah, it's at the end, it's part of a coaching philosophy, and you need to make decisions in what you want to do for your team. And you can say, yeah, but losing 4-0 is not good. Yeah, but getting 0 points is getting 0 points at the end, and you never know with going to play attack. One ball goes in, one opportunity, good free kick here, and a good save also.
That was Shaista on his left foot with the free kick. He did very well to find the corner, but Tenzin Samdup did brilliantly as well to step in and send that ball out and keep that in play as he clears the ball once again for another throw-in for Sreenidi Deccan. Here's that free kick once again. Shaista with a beautiful one. And Tenzin flying across to get both hands to it in the end. Feels like he had it all covered all along.
Wonderful save indeed. Right spot, takes that ball, 2 hands. You can say it's part of the job, but it was a very good save in the corner. Wonderful free kick also. Now we were talking about visions and philosophy. It's indeed not every coach will be doing that, and it's the right of the Namdhari coach here to take off his last striker and to play with an extra defender. Everyone has the right to do that, of course. But me personally also, I've had the opportunity to work with a very defensive coach long time ago. My first coach when I became a professional football player. He was only focused on defense, and he got us into European football, Europa Cup, by ending a competition which had 36 games, only scoring 22 over the whole season. I think conceding, remember it was 22, I think conceding like around 30 at the end, but we ended up third. We played Europa Cup for the last time ever with the club where I was, and he was only focused on the defensive part, even on training session. Was the only thing we were studying, was the only thing we were working on. Where are the running lines as a defender, as a fullback, as a centre back? And then I had the full opposite with another Belgian coach who was almost only focused on the attacking part. So it's very nice to see how different philosophies are being put into training sessions, how hard you need to study as a player, because that's what a lot of people here forget, is when you get into Europe, it's not just go on the pitch and play. There's actual running lines, knowing where to run. Let us see here, good cross, and an opportunity for Hassan, who missed his header. Wonderful cross from the left side here, and again it is Hassan who gets on the right spot. As we've seen, they've changed between Gabriel and between Hassan, changed positions. But as I was saying, there is a whole process, and it starts at a very young age, learning where to run, what to do, in what position, playing with 4, when a 5th man needs to come back. There's a lot of learning process to go there, and that's what a lot of people forget, how difficult it is to know all the running lines and then to know the opposition, what to do. So it was fascinating for me to have coaches on both ends, attacking coach and fully defending coach. And just to give one anecdote there, we know the Netherlands competition is quite attacking football. Ajax, Feyenoord, PSV. So this defensive coach went 1 year to the Netherlands competition. And after 6 matches, they told him, please go back to Belgium because we don't like this kind of football. He was doing good results, but they don't like the way he was playing. So everything also depends on what is your public, what do they want to see. And here indeed we see that Namdhari has made that decision to fall back, which is a choice of the coach, which, like I said, it's all open for discussion, but the two centre backs of Sreenidi are completely free. If now Sreenidi plays from left to right, they won't touch a ball anymore, Namdhari.
I think that's exactly what Sreenidi Deccan are doing right now. They're very, very comfortable and they have nothing really that is bothering them. They're in no hurry to move forward. They're trying to find their spots. It's almost like a practice session for them right now. It's beautifully played. This is Hassan down the right hand side, getting and seeing more of the ball. That's beautifully played to Roma Villa, stepping on the right hand side. I wonder why, because that stepped right into the path of Stephen Aqua, who sends the ball back to Tenzin Samdop, who easily collects it.
I think there was a little bit of a problem of his teammate closing down the gap. If his teammate would have pushed Stephen a little bit backwards, he had the opportunity to put it on his right foot and to shoot at goal, and I think that was his idea.
Here they come again, Ali Sabia. Sreenidi Deccan has been a club which has been on the up ever since their inception in Indian football. They have been I-League runners-up last season, 22-23. But here come Hassan. We'll get back to that, teasing the defender. The cross comes in. The clearance again comes in from Akashdeep, the captain. But getting back to Sreenidi and their way forward in Indian football. They have been runners last season to Round Glass Punjab, and then they've also achieved the 3rd place in 21-22. They have gone up season by season. Is this the season they go one up and get the championship? Only time will tell. They've also been runners-up in the IFA Shield, the prestigious IFA Shield, being runners-up to 2-time defending champions Real Kashmir. So they certainly are doing good work, and their affiliated club is a certain Portuguese powerhouse in the name of Benfica. So they certainly are doing good work, as we mentioned before, in the grassroots region, and there's a reason why there is success in the clubs when we see success. Another substitution made as Amay Bhatkal makes way for Jaskaran. It's Maya. Rosenberg once again shifted onto the right hand side, and Hassan onto the left hand side. It's been a typical way of Sreenidi moving around, and their movement has been such that they do the switches quite elegantly between Rosenberg and Hassan. Here they come.
And if the match will stay like that, Namdhari will end up the day first. Let's see if the ball comes here. No, Namdhari would end up the day still on 11th position. We know that they cannot get relegated. It's one of the 2 teams who cannot get relegated. So teams like Rajasthan, Neroka, who are just around them right now, they need to be very careful, because if Namdhari would end up in the last 2, they will be one of the teams who will get relegated if they are 1 position only in front of them. So it's something for teams also to think about. We cannot just look at Namdhari. We need to look at having 2 other teams behind us. So Namdhari right now would be 11th with 4 points, together with Neroka, who has a worse goal difference. Neroka is on -12. Namdhari is on -7, but because of the rules of I-League, right now Neroka has scored a goal more, and it's not immediately goal difference, it's first goal scored. So right now Neroka is above Namdhari.
And they've sent men forward for this free kick. The captain is to take it. Albino, who has been pretty much comfortable more or less in this game, barring a few. But this header comes in and it's thankfully straight into the hands of Albino for Sreenidi Deccan. As we head into the last 10 minutes of this game, Sreenidi Deccan have done what exactly has been asked from them, to keep in touch with Moblin Sporting. They will move up to 16 points in this encounter after winning this encounter, and if they win this encounter, and that will certainly set up a clash of the Titans right on top of it, and it would certainly give us a little bit of a trailer as to the teams that are going to fight for the championship as well. It already seems like one. Sreenidi Deccan and Moblin Sporting setting the pace early on. Keeping possession, they're finding those gaps in midfield. And the final ball again missing out from Sreenidi Deccan. It feels like they've just eased things down here. Went into like cruise control right now. Sreenidi Deccan not really pushing themselves into attack. Just keeping possession, trying to find that odd gap in that defense of Namdhari to score a third. But they're very comfortable at the moment. There is nothing that is remotely bothering them. Abhishekam Baker, Hassan.
One of the things which was very clearly hearable was Faisal, the Afghan, was telling his teammates how to play that ball in a one-touch immediately, even when 2-0. He's still trying to guide his teammates on how to improve during a game. And it's these kind of things, like we said before, it's about leaders, where to play, how to play. And he's taking that leading role. He's been doing that from the beginning of the season. He's taking that leading role onto him in that central midfield position. And now it is 2-0. He still tells to his players, pass needs to be better, needs to be on a higher level. These are the qualities that you look for into a coaching.
Absolutely. He's been the midfield maestro really for Sreenidi Deccan. He's been everywhere in that central midfield region. He's covered, I don't think he's not left a blade of grass untouched. There he is again, at the heart of every attack. But here is Hassan with one of his marauding runs. This is Roma Villa. Abhishekam Baker with the overlapping run. And here comes Shaista again. Roma Villa. It's beautiful to see these Sreenidi Deccan players move around and switch positions. And those little 1-2s that they're playing. Like I said, it looks like a very well-oiled machine, Sreenidi Deccan. And they can only get better from here. Because experience at the end of the day will count. And this is a team that has fought for championship before. And you need championship experience. And that can never be replaced.
And it's of course also part of the choices that the opposing team has put on themselves. Let them play, don't put too much pressure on them. It's another 10 minutes. Namdhari coach could have also said go and chase on every single ball, run until you can't run anymore. But right now it's an easy game for Sreenidi Deccan, no pressure on them. Just put 2v1 here, they'll recover the ball, especially when Hassan with his speed knows how to snatch that ball. And again, Sreenidi Deccan, he can wait now. Alicia Bia can wait around that circle without anyone pressuring him. This is not how it should be in a game. Not my opinion, not my way of football. You're losing 2-0, lose 3-0, you lose 4-0. Okay, but at least this gives the opportunity for Sreenidi to play out the game very easy. Won't be tired at the end of the game. Have it relaxed, finish it. Wonderful touch from Hassan here. And then across to nowhere when there was 2 players free inside the box.
A drop in communication, I think, on that occasion. Both Castaneda and Rosenberg, I think, were looking for the ball to the other, but here's Castaneda beautifully shielding the ball. Roma Villa plays it down the right-hand side. This is Jagdeep. Shaista. Just keeping things just under control. In the end, that's a poor ball. Very unlike the Afghan. But again, there's hardly anything that Namdhari can do right now. There's another beautiful combination play. The pullback, well read by the captain Akashdeep Singh. Keeps it in control.
I think he was with his head already in the Mohammedan game. Match is finished. Relax on the ball, no more pressure. I think for him already his mindset is there, and he's not going to put too much pressure on his body in this game anymore.
And interestingly, 85 minutes on the clock. Sreenidi Deccan still haven't made a substitution. And that just goes to show how well conditioned these players are. But I think, like you mentioned, an eye on the Mohammedan Sporting game, and that is how the substitution.
Yeah, absolutely right now. Main set is already on to the next game. There's no more pressure in this one because Namdhari is not putting any pressure. So it's a little bit of a, like I said, it's a little bit of a surprise. We see David coming up for William. So striker for striker. And then we see midfielder being changed for midfielder also. He's worked a lot. He put a lot of pressure onto the opposing team. And they will keep playing in the same formation, just finish it off for the last 5 minutes plus extra time.
Come on, don't be relaxed, Maya, come on!
Yes, William. Hassan. David Castaneda, the captain, getting some rest now, and he will look to continue his goal scoring in the next match against Mohammedan Sporting. And they would look to get their revenge from last year as well, which led to their downfall in the championship run. Something that they would like to change up this season around. Here's Maya. Shayesta, beautifully threaded through. Rosenberg. Jagdeep. It's almost like playing PlayStation at the moment for Sreenidi Deccan. And William with that threaded ball through. He expect Lalnan to make that run, but not on the same page on that occasion. Sreenidi Deccan absolutely bossing possession right now. 62, where we saw that to be 51 in favor of Namdhari at the end of the first half. And the goalkeeper takes that long kick going into the last 3 minutes of regulation time. This game seems to be game, set and match for Sreenidi Deccan.
And maybe there was a little bit of an external reason that David started the game instead of William, because as you see, his right hand is taped in. Maybe they didn't want to take any risk for him to start, but now that the game is finished, they are hoping, that's what I guess, they are hoping to give him another 5-6 minutes, maybe to score a goal, put up that confidence, because they will need both strikers to bring this to a good end, the competition. So maybe there was more than us just thinking they wanted to change it up. I think there's a possibility that William had a small injury.
And that has to be a card, isn't it? That's a lunging tackle in onto William from Akashdeep, and that's not the first time that Akash has lunged into a tackle. That looked horrendous, didn't it? And he's writhing in pain, and then these things must annoy a coach really, because he's trying to save his players. But just look at this. That's just not the ideal tackle a coach would want before a big game against Mohammedan Sporting.
Now you see that he stays on the floor at the moment, right on his ankle. All the players are looking on his ankle. There was a moment ago also something that happened inside the box, because one of the Sreenidi Deccan players was on the floor and you heard a scream at that point. So maybe there was a moment there also already. But indeed, if we were just talking about giving him a couple of minutes maybe to put up his confidence, and he's still on the floor and I see it's not that good, this can be, instead of giving him confidence, can be maybe he's out for the next match.
Oh, absolutely. And that's not a good sign at all. And he's not happy. And Carlos Vaz Pinto will not be a happy man with that at all. And a forced substitution being made here, but this is just not good news for Sreenidi Deccan. The stretcher has come out. It's never a good sign to see this, and that was not a good tackle at all. And I haven't seen a yellow card yet from the referee to Akashdeep Singh. I'll be very, very surprised if the yellow card is not brandished.
I don't think he will get it at all. We see in the meantime 2 substitutions, with one Ibrahim Sissoko coming on, and then we have Lalbia Klana coming on also. I think that most probably will be for William already.
Jersey number 7, William Alsde Oliveira, has been replaced by jersey number 3, Ibrahim Sissoko.
Will be a very frustrating afternoon for William, coming on and getting back off, and Gabriel also being substituted.
And I don't think a yellow card has been brandished for that tackle. Is absolutely, it's very, very surprising to see that. Here it comes again, Namdhari. Down the left hand side. The cross comes in. Can they get a consolation here? Abhishek Ambekar with the headed clearance. The clearance comes in. Here comes Pamma. His poor control in the end has let him down. Here comes Jagdeep.
So they've changed the whole attacking department right now. Sreenidi Deccan with Hassan Moore playing as a central striker, and then bringing Sissoko on the right side, who's dropped a little bit in the previous action, but a little bit playing on the right side. And then we have the newcomer Lalbia Klana on the left side. So they've changed the whole attacking department at the moment.
Yeah, not long left now. I think seeing that tackle, it must have gotten fear into those ranks as well, and they don't want any more injuries happening, because the black and white brigade are lingering on top of the head. This is Stephen Aqua. This is Hassan.
This will be indeed a big match there, and we got this counter attack with Hassan. Let us see, what an opportunity, and a wasted shot there at the end.
he's been impressive, hasn't he? Because those runs have come along and there's nothing that Namdhari Sports Club have been able to do to stop those runs. Really, Hassan has been a very, very dominating presence in those wings as well.
For me, his biggest problem that I've noticed in all the matches that he's played at the moment is he's not effective enough inside the box. It's very dangerous on the wing, a lot of pressing possibilities, comes and help his team in defensive also. So all these things together means that his teammates are scoring. And I say most of the times that's more important than you scoring 5 goals at the end of the season and ending up at the back. If you do all the work and your whole team wins games, then you've played a great season. And right now Hassan is one of these players who's playing a great season. Even if he hasn't scored 5-6 goals at the moment, he always gives opportunities to his teammates.
And with that, we come to the end of this game at Namdhari Sports Stadium with Sreenidi Deccan with a comfortable win in the end. A 2-0 victory, a 2-goal cushion that they maintained from the first half, with David Castaneda Munoz opening the scoring and Jagdeep Singh with a thunderbolt of an effort which gave them the 2-goal lead in the first half. And Sreenidi Deccan joined Mohammedan Sporting right on top of the table, probably takes over first position thanks to goals being scored, but it's going to be an enthralling encounter in the next match that they come around with, and it's been a lesson learnt really for this new club, Namdhari Football Club, and they will only gain from this experience as they go forward. 60% ball possession, not surprisingly there once Namdhari went down to 10 men, 10 shots each, 6 shots on target. Namdhari did start that second half very promisingly, but that red card to Sukandeep certainly poured hot water on their hopes of making a comeback against Sreenidi Deccan. Ten shots taken by Namdhari. Imanol right up there with 2, along with Akashdeep Singh, Amay Jaskar and Manveer and Sandeep with 1 each. Ten shots taken by Sreenidi Deccan FC, David Castaneda Munoz, Hassan, Rosenberg, Gabriel and Shaeste with 2 each. Jagdeep with that thunderous effort, and Roma Villa with 1 more. Ten fouls conceded by Namdhari, Sukan with 3, Manveer and Saurav with 2 each, Sifan Aqua, Akashdeep Singh and Akash Singh with 1 each. Fouls conceded by Sreenidi Deccan, Ali Sabia with 3, Jagdeep with 2, Rosenberg, Gabriel with 2, Abhishek, Hassan and Maya with 1 each. And onto the highlights, and that was the second foul from Jagdeep, and that cross comes in which Roman Villa just about couldn't get on target. Then the opening goal from David Castaneda Munoz, where Rosenberg found him very, very beautifully, and all he had to do is wrap his foot around it, and David Castaneda Munoz was back on the score sheet, the Colombian, on 4 goals now in the I-League. And then that thunderous effort came from Jagdeep. Beautiful strike, the purest of strikes that he will have in his career. Jagdeep Singh gave Sreenidi Deccan a 2-goal lead, which would be hard to overturn, and the chances kept falling for Sreenidi Deccan. And then the chances were not far away for Namdhari FC, and that header from Akash went over. And then Manveer Singh with the effort, comfortably saved by Albino. Now the free kick, which went high above the goalkeeper from Imanol. And this was an early chance in the second half. Gurmukh Singh very lucky that that ball didn't end up on the back of the net from his clearance. Imanol kept putting those dangerous free kicks in, but Namdhari couldn't get it past Albino. Another free kick from Shaista, this time saved fancily by Tenzin Samdup. And that would be that. It has been a pleasure, Steve, sharing the box with you. The news from the centre, it is Sreenidi Deccan FC which has put 2 goals past Namdhari Football Club and gone to the top of the I-League.